Hello everyone, Paul here. Today I'm going to go over another strategy and this I think is the most effective strategy with and I've covered a lot of ways uh, with the stock market and different indicators, but you only need three indicators with this strategy. Well, actually, you need four. Two of them are really optional. But I'm going to go over the first part of this today, the second part of it tomorrow, method you guys want to use. But this is really it's the 1348 EMA method for the stock market. And I've talked about this briefly before. There's a guy on YouTube named Review Dork, and he covers the 1348 on a regular basis. So if you want to go check his videos out. But what I'm doing is I followed his videos where he talks about the 1348, and I also added the 8 EMA as well. So I'm going to show you kind of like what he teaches with his 1348, and then I'm going to show you my add-on on how adding the 8 EMA will help. So anyway, let's just look at the stock market. I'm use SPY for an example. And what you want to do, like with anything else, with the 13 and the 48, is I made my 13 the blue line. I think it's the blue line. Yeah, it's the blue line. So the 13 is the blue line. And so what you basically want to do is you just want to follow and see what direction that blue line is going. And if the blue line, like with anything else, if the blue line is going in the down, if it's going down, it's a downtrend. If it's going up, it's an uptrend. It's very easy for that. So there's a couple examples. Like right here, we see the 13 EMA going down right here. So this would be the spot where I would put a put in for SPY. Now this is on the hour. So what I would do now why I have the 8 EMA on here is it confirms it kind of, I don't enable it on TradingView until after I have an active trade on Robinhood, because it gets kind of distracting with all the lines. So you really just need to see the points of where the 13 crosses with the 48. But once you have an option going with Robinhood, you could then unhide the 8 EMA, and I'll show you. What will happen with the 8 EMA is it will kind of outline the direction that everything is going, and the moment that it runs into an issue, you'll notice. So you'll see that it follows the 13 EMA pretty closely, and it doesn't interfere with any of the other lines. What you want to look for, if you want to keep going with your option and not sell, the lines have to move straight in the same direction as the 13 EMA. So once there's a problem, the 8 EMA will run into the 13 EMA. Once that happens, it will shift into a different direction, and that's how you know when to get out. You can get out kind of right here around this point, or you can get out earlier. If you get out earlier, as long as it's following the same straight direction as the 13 EMA, I find it very helpful to know that, okay, it's still going strong, it's still going in a good direction. But once it interferes with the 13 EMA, you know that it's going to change direction, and you need to get out as soon as possible. So this right here, this move for if you got in right around here for a SPY option and you followed the 13 EMA, let's just stop it right. 9 days. Let's just stop it at a certain day. 9 days. Okay, so 9 days, it's 28.25. So it was 28, 25 times 50. That is around a $1,400 gain right there. So let's use a couple other examples with this strategy. Now here is a small, now you'll notice that when you do this, your wins, you win almost every single time. Well, now let's remove the 8 EMA, and we'll notice we follow the 13 EMA right here. It crosses right here. So this point right here it's a call. So you would do a call for around 397. So what I would do in this situation, once I have put that call in, I would load up my 8 EMA and notice that the 8 EMA is traveling along with the 13 EMA in the same direction. And once it hits the blue line, you know there's trouble and you need to get out. So let's just see how much this is right here. Let's just see what this is. Probably a small gain. So you got right here, if you did a 398 call or around there, got out around here, 12.84. Yeah, 12.84. That's $642 in 4 days. So let's look at a couple other examples. We follow the blue line, or if you guys are applying this, I like making the 13 EMA a blue line. It's just easier for me to see, but you can change it to whatever color you want. Make sure you change it to a color that pops out, but you basically just have to follow the 13 EMA. Okay, so we see it again right here. 13 is going in a downtrend. So this is the point where we put it in option right here. So this is a 424 put. Okay, so once we put that in the stock market, we load up our 8 EMA, and the pattern of the 8 travels. It travels, and then there's a problem right around here, and then actually the problem hits right here. Let's zoom in a little closer. See, it hits the 8 EMA, hits the 13, and as soon as that happens, it changes direction. It was going down, but then once it hit the 13 EMA, it changes direction. So that is a profit zone right there. So let's see how much that one is. Let's see, we get in right around here. Got out right about here. That's 12.09. 12.09 times about 50. It made about $600 right there. Okay, I'm going to do this 2 more times, and I think you guys get the general idea. So we wait for the 13 EMA to either cross up or cross down. Close calls are not going to count. These won't count. They have to either cross up or cross down from the 48. So like here's the example. Okay, so we see the 13 EMA crossing up. So what I would do in this point is I would do a call for around 381. And let's say we put that in for... Okay, so we're going to put in and we're going to plug in our 8 EMA. And we're going to see that yellow line is traveling along the 13 EMA. And it doesn't run into a problem until... This is a long run right here, but it runs into a problem right about here. So this is where you would start losing. The 8 EMA hits the 13 EMA right about here. So let's just look how much that would be. Let's just do a little bit of it. Where did it cross? Let's see. Did it cross? Across there. Let's shrink this down. much as I can. Okay, so it crossed. Let's turn off that 80. There's a reason why I don't have the 8 EMA on here all the time is because it's a little bit distracting. So turn it off if you're not using it. You really need to just focus on the 1348, and once your options going, you plug in your 8 EMA to check everything. So this is a gain all the way. Let's just say you pulled out right about here. So that's 19 days. Well, we don't need to do that long. You don't need to have your contract that long. Let's just do a week, 6 days. Let's do 6 days. Okay, so 6 days. Wow, that would have been a lot of money. That would have been a lot of money. 19 days worth. Let's just look that one up real quick. 3340. 3340 times 50. So that's about $1,600 right there. And it'd be about half of that if you cut it off earlier. Okay, let's do one more time, and I think you guys get the general idea. Let's just look. We follow the 13 EMA until it crosses up or crosses down. So let's do this one right here. This one's going to be easy. So it should predict from this point right here to get in. It should predict here, and it should predict this point before it started falling. So let's load up the crosses right here. And then do the 8 EMA. And you'll notice that the 8 EMA is traveling along up until this point, and then it changes direction. So let's just see how much this was in gains. So we're going to get in right here, and then we're going to stop somewhere around here. That's 13 days. 13 days. Let's cut it off a little bit because contracts usually, at least I don't usually buy contracts for that long. Maybe a week. But let's just do 7 days. Okay, there's 7 days. 16.89 in 7 days. 16.89 in 7 days. So you made $844 in 7 days. Now, once you start doing this and you start making gains from it, this is not financial advice, but as you grow your gains, you can also increase your contracts, and as you increase your contracts, you'll make even more money. You can scale and compound over time. So that 844, that 144 would turn into 1,600 if you worked with 2 contracts instead of 1. So anyway, this is very powerful, and I thought I'd share it with people. I'm going to be talking about it more. Tomorrow I'm going to be going over, let's say, the same strategy, but another thing you can add on to it. And this same strategy also works for crypto, and I'm going to be talking about that probably in 2 days from now. But it works for crypto too. It's just crypto is a lot more volatile. You can see more of the patterns doing it with the stock market. Anyway, if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys in future videos.